and a good kick. Banks, there is 50. Corral there. And that's where the Cats will start. Down 2, and Banks is hurt.
White Famous, starring Jay Farrow and Jamie Foxx, streams October 15th on Crave TV. Find Crave TV in the App Store and get a month on us.
So you just got a free month of Crave TV for that promo read. That was stellar.
White Famous.
They're having some fun here tonight. Here in Hamilton, folks in the Hammer will have a lot more fun if they can pull an upset here. Now Masoli's got lots of motion here. Alex Green comes up to the line. 1st and 10 for the Cats. Here's the rush. Masoli has his man far side. It's Banks. And Banks is brought down by Ciante Evans. Long throws to that far side, and they can be dangerous, but it was in the midst of Banks.
And Jeremiah Masoli put a little bit of heat on this one. Banks lined up on the outside this time. Working against Ciante Evans. Free man off the edge on the rush, so Masoli has to get it out in a hurry.
Brandon Banks, 3 for 76 yards in the ball game. Looks like he's all right. Was nicked up a little bit after that punt return, which was really no return. Now Masoli wants to take off with it, calls a number, and Masoli has the first down. 1, 2, 3, and me. Jeremiah Masoli calls his number.
Well, I don't think he had time to worry about 1, 2, or 3 because he was worried about 49 and 95, 39 closing in on him. Yeah, fear can be a great motivator. Calgary defensive line collapsing the pocket as Masoli takes off for a first down.
Stamps looking to lock down in the red zone. They did the last trip. Now Masoli, and traffic for Saunders. Shaq Richardson there to break that up. So again, another key second down for Hamilton.
Well, blitz well picked up at the line of scrimmage. Looked like Saunders had a step, but nice recovery there by Richardson, a guy who got lots of playing time at halfback early in the season, particularly when Brandon Smith was injured. Stamps had an opening at that nickel linebacker spot. With Joe Burnett down, Richardson has slid right in there seamlessly.
Masoli now slinging right near the goal post. Laying out, unable to grab it is Brandon Banks. So now the drive stalls, and after all of that, back and forth. Masoli incomplete. Kenny Allen will come out and attempt his first ever CFL field goal. This is from the 27-yard line. By the way, Kenny Allen primarily a punter and a place kicker at Michigan, but more really known for his punting. Those are the numbers at the U of Michigan. He puts it up and he puts it through. 1 for 1 in the CFL. Sergio Castillo on the sideline tonight, I'm sure, cheering him on. And there's Sergio, and woe was him. He was having a terrific season and tore that ACL. And so the Hamilton Tiger Cats are back out in front by 1.
That is Sergio Castillo. Just had that knee give out on him on a plant, running down to cover a kick. Last week in the peg. Leaving the Cats without their kicker, Félix Faubert-Lucier. Finished up handling kicking duties for the Tiger Cats.
Such a big win
receiver
for the Cats last week in Winnipeg against the Bombers. McDaniel. And the Stampeders coming off a huge win a couple weeks ago over Montreal. 2 near 60-point outputs this season. 1 against Hamilton, 59 against Montreal. But only 14 points here tonight. That has been a story. Will it stay that way? Final 2 minutes, third quarter. Bow throws. Michel in front of Carriel Brooks. 6-yard gain.
Mark and Michel continues to be a go-to guy. And we talked to Bo Levi Mitchell a couple of weeks ago about Michel's development. You mentioned earlier, Rod, how his first catch went for that big touchdown when he came on in relief of Kamar Jordan in that Hamilton game. Bo Mitchell said making a tough catch like that gave him so much faith in the young receiver. He's had confidence in him ever since. They give it to Messam, who is going nowhere, and that doesn't happen often. Jerome Messam is stonewalled. Jerome Messam, who ran all over the Hamilton Ticats in their last meeting for 3 touchdowns, was shut down late in the ball game, is running nowhere here, and that is a big stop by the Cats. Yeah, watch Ted Laurent right on that hash mark, holding his ground at the line of scrimmage, then shedding the block to get in on the play. Hamilton will put 2 returners back. This will go to Richard Leonard. Leonard tripped up. Long field. Good tackle downfield from the Calgary Stampeders. Dexter Janke down there. So yeah, what a difference for Jerome Messam. Last meeting to this meeting tonight. That has been also a storyline. Yeah, July 29th, 188 yards, just 25 for Messam tonight on the ground. Let's go back down to the sideline to Matthew Shinetti for an injury update.
Absolutely, Rod. Just give you an update on Quinn. He was on the sidelines. The Ticats were looking at his left foot. Then they took his shoe off, put ice on it and a walking boot, and gave him crutches. Does not look good, guys.
That's too bad for that young man. Trying so hard to make it north of the border. There he goes. It's heartbreaking. See a player just coming into his own in the Canadian Football League. Brandon Banks now. The guy who's so explosive in Willie Quinn. And it creates a tough situation for the Hamilton Tiger Cats with Quinn's presence allowing Brandon Banks to focus his efforts on the offensive side of the ball, where he's obviously getting a lot more snaps and a lot more action, a lot more use than he did under Kent Austin. Could be the final play here of this third quarter. Hamilton Tiger Cats having a rare lead after 3 quarters. Masoli chucks out of bounds. Clock at 0s here. When we come back, Hamilton will be booting it back to Calgary. Stampeders rarely trail after 3, but they're trailing here tonight. It's a 1-point ball game. Hamilton Tiger Cats desperate for a win and trying to end a 10-game win streak by the Calgary Stampeders on Friday night, who lead this ball game heading to the 4th by a single point. Dwayne Ford. Well, unfamiliar territory for both of these teams, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats to be in a close game, in a situation where they've got to look to close this out. It's been a long time. We go all the way back 2011, September 25th. Touchdown Atlantic. Moncton, New Brunswick. And it was Kevin Glenn against Henry Burris. Times have changed, have they not? Well, a couple of guys that have moved around just a little bit since then, trading places, in fact, a couple of years later. But Kevin Glenn leading the Tiger Cats to victory in that one. Still loads of football left, though, and a Calgary Stampeder team that knows what it's like to win in winning time. Delicate fields the punt at his 45, hit once and twice, and then still lunges ahead. You got to love most about Tunde Adeleke is his ability to find the hole, but also to keep scrapping. He's the real deal. Yeah, a legit returner, and obviously you haven't had a ton of Canadian guys over the years given an opportunity to fill that role. We've seen Nick Dembski at times be the go-to returner in Saskatchewan. But Adeleke really getting an opportunity to run with the ball, so to speak,
here for the Stampeders in Roy Finch's absence.
Been a good night so far for the Hamilton Tiger Cat defense. Batman and Robin in the linebacking core, and Larry Dean and Simone Lawrence. Bo Levi Mitchell trying to get a spark here. Play action with Messam, now going deep, and in coverage is Michel, who can't haul that in. That was a good defensive play, because I think that may have altered the sight line at the last minute by Cariel Brooks, and also Asagi Odiasi on Mark and Michel.
Yeah, you'll see Brooks, number 26, come underneath just at the end of the play. Not sure if he got a hand on it, but certainly affecting the concentration and focus of the receiver.
Calgary team that still has yet to put a ball in the house offensively tonight. Only touchdown on a punt block. Mitchell over the top. Oh, what a great catch by the former Hamilton Tiger Cat, Marquay McDaniel. Two guys on him, and somehow in tight traffic, Marquay comes away with it.
That guy who's had a pretty quiet night thus far. You see that McDaniel, veteran receiver, turning the body to protect the ball from the free safety, Steven.
Play action again, slant to McDaniel, who is their most clutch receiver. Marquay McDaniel. Big play. And that was the play before, which was in such a tight window. Messam gobbled up. Adrian Tracy, first contact. Big stop for a loss. Trying to get Calgary to field goal attempt at the very least.
Adrian Tracy was a guy who for the first half of the season had a lot of trouble getting on the field. And Hamilton, as they were trying to figure out the ratio with starting a Canadian, Justin Capicati, at one defensive end spot. Tracy was stuck behind John Chick at the other slot.
2nd and 13. This has been McDaniel time, but this is way offside. Had to be 5 or 6 yards offside. Did Adrian Tracy jump first?
Yeah, see who flinched first. You see Jordan coming
Tracy.
into the picture.
Adrian Tracy jumped. Kamar Jordan was way offside too, but Tracy went first.
Offside. Hamilton, number 5, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Terry Williams checks into the Calgary backfield in place of Jerome Messam. There have been a couple times tonight where they've actually had both backs on the field together.
Been one of those subpar nights for the big back, Jerome Messam. Williams is in the backfield right now. Likely a throwing down, though, for Bo Levi Mitchell on 2nd and 8. There he goes, rears back and tossing it up, and Michel gets pasted by Donald Unumba. But Mark and Michel knows that that was a ball that he should have caught.
Yeah, there have been a few Calgary drops in this ball game tonight. With Williams shooting out to the flat, it opens up a bigger window on the inside.
Yeah, for all the spectacular ones that Mark and Michel has made, that was did not require any theatrics.
Yeah, certainly one he'd like to have back.
So Rene Paredes missed his first attempt of the night, ended a streak of 18 in a row. This one from 36. As we go back and forth here, and once again the Stampeders jump back in front. Calgary getting field goals tonight, but no touchdowns, and a few drops tonight for the normally reliable Stampeder receivers on Friday Night Football. EMC Sierra Elevation Edition. Get noticed like a pro. Been a great night for football here. Down the stretch we go as the autumn leaves fall. The temperature starts to dip, but the races heat up. Drive to the playoffs, and Hamilton trying to stay alive here. A win would go a long way to keep them going. Shamad Chambers on the hitch, and he's brought down hard by Jameer Thurman. Close to a first down, 9-yard pickup.
Shamad Chambers having a busy night in that Hamilton receiving corps, former first-round pick. The Edmonton Eskimos guy who's battled injury a little bit over the last couple of years.
Trips left, 33 max, dog bees, all one, right? Yep.
They're going to heavy hit that time. Pancake by Jameer Thurman. Well, second down and 1. There's a rush again. Masoli, quick release. Caught, first down. Saunders. It's going to be interesting to see how this game plays out, and if we ever have to go back to that play at the goal line where Masoli misfired to Luke Tasker, and they didn't get any points.
Well, in a similar situation there, not a third down, obviously, but on a second down, second
Similar
and short. Yeah, going out to that wide side flat when all they need is a couple of yards.
It will be 1st and 10, though, for the Cats. Looking to win tonight. A loss tonight. A win by Ottawa and Saskatchewan in the second half of our doubleheader would eliminate the Cats. Look out here. Brandon Banks down the sideline. His biggest play tonight. Speedy B told me yesterday, June Jones has been Santa Claus for him. It's been Christmas Day every day.
Yeah, seeing a lot more action in that Tiger Cat offense. You get to see him use some of those kick return moves after the catch and that hitch screen.
Past the century mark tonight, 100 yards for Brandon Banks. See if he figures in this drive here inside the 40. Masoli again. Now he has to scramble. Rolls out. May have to throw it away. He does, but it's caught near the line of scrimmage. Jalen Saunders may pick up a couple yards here. Looks like he got 2 or 3, so it's going to be second and throwing down again for the Cats. We're now in field goal range, but keep in mind they've got a rookie kicker in Kenny Allen, who might have to come out at the end of this game with the pressure on.
Certainly.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah, tough circumstances for Kenny Allen.
Rare number for a kicker, huh? 91. Big leg, though. Masoli moving the pocket once more. Against the grain he goes, and it's Saunders again. First down. Well, one way to take the pressure off your kicker is try to take it to the end zone. Down to the 22-yard line, they move the sticks on a 13-yard reception from Saunders.
Well, you'll see how the effect that Luke Tasker has. Tasker's going to end up pulling coverage over to this side of the field. A couple of defenders go with him. That opens up room for Saunders to then slip into that window right behind him. Tasker goes first, clears it out, pulls 2 defenders in that direction. Easy completion to Saunders in behind.
Double tight end set this time. They'll keep it on the ground for Alex Green, and might be the first running play of the second half from the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who have gone to the air almost every single play.
And I thought they had, in terms of runs in the regular field, not in goal line short yardage, decent success running the football. I'm surprised they haven't looked that way a little bit more.
Well, will it be Luke Tasker in this situation? He's been the go-to guy on second down. A quiet night for Andy Fantuz. Where do they go? Masoli to Saunders, who can't hang on. So now they look to the sideline, and here comes the rookie kicker in his first game, who is 1 for 1. Not a long kick for him, just a 26, 27-yarder. June Jones said Kenny Allen is one of those athlete kickers. Look at the size of him, 6'3", 225. Again, the Michigan Wolverine to make it our 6th lead change of the night. Tasker the hold. Kick is up, and it is right down Main Street, and a penalty flag. 2 flags down on the play. So let's sort this out. Looks like it might be against the Stampeders. Hamilton signaling that. It is against the Stamps. So Andre Proulx is going to come over and talk with June Jones. But what he wants to do here on the call, will the yardage be enough for a first down on this penalty call, or do they, if it's 3rd and 4, do they just take the field goal and decline it?
In the previous play, we had procedure pyramiding Calgary number 25. That penalty's declined. The field goal is good.
So that's exactly what happened. It would have been 3rd and about 3, so they take the field goal by the rookie. And Hamilton jumps on top by 1 again.
Well, you heard the call against Tommy Campbell, pyramiding. And you're going to see number 25 for the Calgary Stampeders on the snap in an attempt to block the kick. Climbs on his teammates to gain a little bit of extra height. There you see him kind of springboarding off defensive tackle Michael Clausen in the